It is very incredibly regressive, and it holds one in a very immovable place where one cannot evolve, and not spiritually so much. It is not to say that there isn't so many versions of evolution that can occur, like even being absolutely locked down in a belief system. It is, even that is a lesson in growth. So it is very amusing, and it is important, we feel, to point out that in humanity, this idea that somehow the spiritual is the lesser, the less reliable. And when we say spiritual, what we mean is things that are not so dense, things that do not appear before the physical eyes. Just anything that isn't appearing before the physical senses is thrown out, the baby with the bathwater, when in reality, most of reality is not the physical. It is everywhere else in every other form. So it is a narrowing of a vision that does not allow consciousness to evolve. It is a slowing down. It causes a sludge. A different vibration. If you just use your imagination, and you could be visual or emotional or a feeling sense. Just when you imagine the pyramids in Egypt on that plateau, and then you imagine yourself in one of the step pyramids, for example, in Mexico. What is the feeling vibration that is unique? Let us ask you, if you were to imagine for yourself, what element is most expressed in the Giza plateau? You are correct. And what element is most predominant in one of the step pyramids? You are correct. Exactly so. So you see, the elements become also anchored and reflected more overtly. There are some pyramids that actually are not seen overtly, and it is not in Britain. No, it is in what you understand to be the very south, in Antarctica. That is Earth, and it doesn't look so much that way now because it is snow and ice, but it is a power source. Think about it. Everything is a fractal of everything else. What is at this time the root of the planet? Is Antarctica, is it not? And for now, that is what's being reflected by the pyramids there. China. Everything is a fractal of everything else. You will find that now. It is like having a rope leading you into a cave. It is like unavoidable. You will meet the synchronicities everywhere you look. It will all make sense, because even the beings that gather around these places are reflective of what supports that area. So, and there are not everything is a pyramid. There are other examples of these honorings that are all around the planet at this point. And there is something that is rather surprising, but we will say to play with this a little, because there is a very mysterious, secret energy that people have not really accessed overtly anyway. There may be some who have accessed this, but the henges that you see in the British area and in Scotland, although Scotland's energy is different than the English manifestation, but it is a heart line. It is a heart line. They are accessing heart energy there. So look for that in your stories. See where the connections are. It is a more profound thing than that, we would say. And we would say there are aspects to the heart, which is true of humans, and it is true of the earth and other beings, but we'll keep it simple. There are aspects to these qualities. There are aspects to the heart that are related to water. There are aspects to the heart that are related to fire. And when you do this, you find yourself in Scotland. When you're in the water, you find yourself in England. It is like this everywhere. It is like this. And the evolution, and so this is how humanity actually assists in those that know, were able to assist in these activities of creating these monuments. And they were not created by 100,000 slaves. They were not created by anything such as this. You have to understand that in the times when many of these monoliths that are beyond imagination, how they could have been created, they can't even be created now. You imagine the precision that was required. Many speak of that in the manifestations of some of the monuments in Peru that were there to honor great spirits there as well. A particular newness. There is a newness to these locations in, for example, Peru. These seeming ancient locations are actually in many ways the babies. The baby location manifestation, they were not the first to be implemented. They're ancient by human standards for sure. But the ones in Egypt are from such a far away time that could be imagined, that it is literally moving time, within wheels within wheels. It is not linear, and we will emphasize that again. It is not a linear experience. It could be, from the way reality works, yesterday there could have been nothing on the Giza plateau, and today all anyone remembers is the pyramids. It is that fluid.